$1,182. $1,182 is how much the typical American household will see in their paychecks thanks to the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. That's an average household of four earning $59,000. We're doubling the standard deduction. We're increasing the child tax credit. We're lowering tax rates across the board. That's not all. Middle-income families estimates show they'll see a pay raise too. This legislation would result in 3.1% higher wages for people. That means more take-home pay every month in addition to a tax cut. Higher pay, lower taxes. Yes, there are details that are being ironed out in the committee process. That is exactly how the legislative process is supposed to work. I want to commend Chairman Brady, and I want to commend the members of the Ways and Means Committee for their excellent work. We're doing this the right way. We're doing this regular order way. It takes time, but trust me, we're going to get this over the finish line.
You know, all great stuff, and I'll be honest with you, I don't have any real doubts that it's not going to get through the House. I'm concerned about the Senate. But they are doing it the right way. And he's mentioned 3.1% pay raises with this. See, that's the important part. And I will say, and gladly go on record as saying, that pay raises over the next 3 years for the average American is going to be far greater than the 3.1%. I really believe that. I'm very, very convinced on average, not everybody, but on average is going to be far higher than 3.1%. And you know, the tax cut, the tax savings is insignificant. Not everybody is going to experience it. But it is somewhat insignificant compared to the economy and what's going to happen with the economy. So I feel very good. He is still speaking. He's taking questions. I don't know what some of the questions are, but nonetheless, and right now at the same time, we have Maria Bartiromo at the Economic Club in New York talking to Steve Mnuchin. And if I had a choice, so I thought, well, who do we want to listen to? I'd rather listen to Paul Ryan because we know what Steve Mnuchin's going to say. He's not going to change anything. He's going to say the same thing I've been saying. So we know what he's going to say. I'm more interested to see what Speaker Ryan's going to say and where they are with their plan. The problem is there is going to be the Senate. That is where the problem is going to be. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the House of Representatives is going to suffer for what the Senate does in the sense of the election in next November. They're going to suffer for it because of that. So hopefully they can have some sway over the Senate. I don't think they can. I don't think they can. But there needs to be leadership in the Senate, and that's the problem. So all the things that he said sounded great. He did say, and I just, you know, on average, it doesn't mean every single listen, if you're a single family, if you're a family with 8 kids, you'd probably do better keeping things, you know, the way they were. You're not the typical person in America. So we're looking at averages here. And I know that we have an entire generation of people that don't understand about taking one for the team. They don't get that. They don't take one for anybody. I get that. The only way they're going to take one is for themselves. And I understand that. And we've got an entire generation, maybe 2 generations of people like that in America. So it is hard for the average person in America to break anything down that might benefit America because they're consumed with how it's benefiting them themselves. That's all they care about. So I've been saying this since January. I don't care about individual taxes. I care about corporate taxes. I care about the economy. Listen, I don't care about the markets. Why? Because the markets will take care of itself if we get underlying fundamentals of the economy growing stronger each and every quarter for the next 5 years. We're not going to have to worry about the markets. The markets are going to be somewhat irrelevant. Well, we got to worry about debt. Let me just go a little further and say, you don't have to worry about debt. Forget about debt. You worried about national debt? You worried about national debt? Then make sure that you're calling 202-224-3121. That's the Capitol switchboard, and make sure your representative is going to vote for tax reform on corporate America. Because if you're worried about national debt's going to take care of itself. If we can get to a place where we get 3.5%, I'll take 3%, 3 to 3.5% growth on a regular basis. We're going to see our national debt start to come down dramatically. And when it comes down dramatically, everybody's going to say, how did that happen? It happened with growth. It happened with growth. So let's just take care of one thing. Let's forget about trying to. Listen, we know for a fact we have an entire body on Capitol Hill, 535 people, that can't juggle more than one ball at a time. I mean, they can't. We know that. They can't. These guys, you know how people always say something when they're talking about themselves? One of the things they always say, well, we can chew gum and walk at the same time. They say it so much because they know they can't chew gum and walk at the same time. But they figure if they say it, people will believe it. They can't. It's obvious. We've seen proof of that. So let's just do one thing. Let's just worry about the economy. Let's just get some growth. Let's get to but there's people that don't like it. That's okay. Let them not like it. Let them not like it. Let's represent the American economy and the American people. They'll love it in about 2 years, and even whether they like it or not now. Let's do what is right for the American people in general and the American economy.